Welcome to Nerd Stalker, episode 35. I'm your host, Adolfo Fronda. We attend the Mix09 conference in Las Vegas at the Venetian and speak with the legendary Bill Buxton, principal researcher for Microsoft Research and author of this fantastic book, Sketching User Experiences.
My name is Bill Buxton. I work for Microsoft Research. I'm a principal researcher, and I work around design, but my forte is probably on input and interaction, mostly manual input.
There seems to be this evolution at Mix with the experience, user experience,
Yes.
especially. I remember last year everyone was really excited about Lou Carbone's experience engineering and that whole thing, and this year we get the treat to see you and what's happening. Has Microsoft found religion, so to speak?
Well, I think it's got religion. It's been converting for a while, and as many such things happen, sometimes it takes a while before what started off as an undercurrent rises above the radar, and I hope we haven't seen anything yet. Is my hope. I think it's just going to get better and better.
So you showed some really cool example of a mouse that I love. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I can show it to you. This is called the Arc mouse. It's a portable mouse, and it's nice and compact.
Uh-huh.
Same size as most little portable mice, like miniature.
Right.
But watch this. It flips open like that,
Uh-huh.
and now it's a full-size mouse.
Wow.
It's got beautiful negative space. It's sort of nice form, beautifully sculptured.
Right.
But it fits wonderfully into your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Check this out. It's the little USB key, and it's just there. Look at, it's mega,
Oh, wow.
and it just so it doesn't get lost.
Yeah.
And just it's nice to touch.
Oh, that is so cool.
And they're coming out in different colors, and you sort of say, well, it's just a mouse. Who needs another mouse? Well, actually, I like that because you know what? I collect mice. Actually, I have a really big collection of input devices, and the fact you can still innovate on a mouse
Right.
and make a mouse which is really distinctive after, well, the mouse was invented in 1965. So, we got 40 plus years and you're still able to do something. That's creativity.
Yeah.
And my sense is, to me, there's two things about it. One, it was done by two women who are, one's in her early 30s, the other one's in the 20s. One's been with Microsoft for 5 years, the other one for 7 months. And that people that are young, energetic, unbelievably talented, have a management and live in an environment where they actually can have their ideas, realize them, and have them shipped and product and do a beautiful job. It says something about the environment they work. It says something about the company. This says we're walking the walk. It's important to us. But the Sketchflow says it's really about how do you help build tools to help our customers improve the return on experience. How can they get design tools so that we can actually really deliver the quality experience that we all aspire to, but heretofore has been really hard, especially for small companies, because they don't have enough people and they don't have the staff. Good tools can help make a difference.
I don't know if it's user interaction. We're calling these different things user experience, design. There's all this terminology. What are your thoughts on that?
So, we went from human-computer interaction, which is HCI,
Right.
and then it became interaction design, and then now it's experience design. God knows what it'll be next. I think the best way to describe why that change in terminology has some value, although there's a little bit of smoke there.
Yeah, sure.
But is it... Okay, let's take this microphone. Human-machine interaction is the two of us just doing this, right? It's about me as sort of one kind of technology, not another, and just the communication there. But the fact is, it's not about that. The microphone and me and the camera is actually far more about the viewer
Right.
and the large experience.
Right.
And it's not about me and the microphone. It's not about you, me, and the camera. And it's not even about the internet. It's not even about the viewer watching this. It's what do they do about it? Is there something they're going to learn that it changes their life? It's about changing. It's about education. It's about communication. It's about all that. These are just incidental things that make it possible. Now, they're really critical, but they're absolutely not sufficient. They're not worthy on their own as the end thing. They're like, how do we actually, this conversation is about how do we improve the literacy of technology so that we all make better decisions that reflect our values as a culture and as a group or a subculture within the larger society. Right? And that's what it's about. And you get from human-machine interaction to that, and that larger experience is what this is about. So it's raising the bar in terms of spreading out what the game
So
is.
you discussed the Zune
Yeah.
to some extent in the keynote as well,
Yeah.
as not just being about the product itself. Can you expand on that?
Sure. I think there were a couple notions that I like about the Zune. And, one is, sure, the device itself, I think, reflects a very high standard of industrial design in terms of materials reliability and just execution. But that's not what it's about. The next is about the larger ecosystem of how it works with the software and other things and so on and so forth. The other is sort of the notion of introducing the wireless in it, so you can, the sharing, the social part of things, and so on. So you can step back and back and back. And what I liked about the Zune was that two things. One, from the beginning, they were thinking about it in a social context. It was not about individuals. We used to sort of say that there's this, the traditional way of looking at computers is it's me and the computer face to face, kind of in missionary position, right?
Yeah.
And that's not what it's about. It's about we're at a party. We're in a social. We're part of a society. So that's the one part. I think the other thing, the reason I mentioned the Zune, was to make this point, because I can already hear, you don't have to email me, because I already understand this, that, yeah, but the iPod has this huge market share, so who cares?
Yeah, absolutely.
And the answer is, well, okay, I'm a realist, I understand that, but understand this as well, that space is well defined from products like the iPod. It's a measured mile, is the way I described it.
Right,
And so if you do something like the Zune, you can now make a direct comparison to how are you doing. Okay, you can compare the business. Okay, let's not talk about that. That's okay.
Right.
But if you compare in terms of the product, the software, and how things work, it's doing it. It's pretty good execution.
Right.
And that execution comes from 9 months from the first Zune, first generation to second, and it was a remarkable growth. Can you come that far in 9 months? So here's what I would say to those who might be saying, yeah, but it's a Zune. And I'd say, yeah, but what if you took what we learned from that in terms of execution, in terms of product design, in terms of interaction of the hardware and the software and all of these things and the new technologies, and what if once you've got that from having learned your lesson on the measured mile, what happens if you take those skills and now apply them to a new kind of market that delivers a whole different kind of experience in a new space, in products that aren't in a saturated market that's already dominated by a competitor?
Yeah. Then you got something interesting. Yeah.
The world becomes interesting.
Right.
And so Microsoft has always been in it, not just for a good time, but for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's like, where's this going to go? And it doesn't mean we're going to become a consumer electronics company. It just says there's a certain skill set, a certain amount of experience that as a company we need to develop to be able to deliver better user experiences. And by doing that in ourselves helps us gain insights that help us make tools so that our partners can also reap that kind of return on experience. And that's nobody can make good tools if they're not a practitioner themselves of the art that requires these tools.